Okay, I'm live now. I finally got YouTube up and Facebook up. I want to talk about trade and how great the Republicans and Democrats thought it was. In 1972, Nixon was the first president or agent of our government to go to Beijing, China, and set up embassies. They were our worst nightmare, worse than Russia. So, but you got to have connections with your enemy too. Then trade got good. We welcomed the trade. The Republicans loved it. The Democrats loved it. It brought cheap stuff in. It saved us a lot of money on buying stuff. It wasn't as good a quality sometimes, but it was there and it was cheap. But then they started dumping stuff, not only China, Japan, India, Vietnam, Philippines, Germany, France, Italy, started dumping stuff in our country at cost or below cost. Oh, that was great for Americans. The Republicans and Democrats loved it. But let me go back to the 40s and 50s and 60s. There was thousands of factories across this country. 75% of the people living in this country was middle class or upper middle class. There was hardly any poor people. But let me go back where I was. My phone ain't moving. I wonder why. I might not be on. Okay, I'm moving again. Now it says go live again on that YouTube app. I'll probably have to copy this whole thing from Facebook. But by the 80s, our industry, toys, crayons, coloring books, furry toys, had all closed up. By the 90s, a lot of our major industries had closed up, like building cars, building parts for cars, and everything. They couldn't compete. So they closed their factories here and moved them to China and paid China to make the parts, and they could make more money that way too, or Mexico or Canada. By the 2000s, 90% of our factories were gone. We had to put all kinds of restrictions on steel, aluminum, and other products because we wasn't going to have anything left for defense contractors to be able to build Jeeps or trucks or bombs or cars with. Yes, it's going to be expensive. I remember selling TVs in 72, 73. 25-inch floor console TV, big wood base. Huge damn thing. $700, $800. That would be 7 or 8,000 today. 50 some years later, 55 years later. Just think of that. But we don't make anything in America anymore. So Trump put tariffs on all of it. Most of the countries, even Vietnam, had a 90% import tariff of American goods. China had a 50%. Japan, Germany, England, France, all of our allies even had at least 25 to 50% tariffs on our products trying to sell to them, people. So they couldn't afford them. Now, Trump is going to have some high inflation because of the tariffs, but people are deciding to move back here and open the factories here again, which are very good middle-class jobs where the wife don't have to work anymore. She can stay home with the kids and have fun. And the man can be home on evenings and weekends. If we bring back the factories. There's thousands of more factories he's got to bring back. So, and he's got to put these countries in turmoil. So we don't have $1 trillion trade deficit every year of money going out but not coming in. Equal trade, free trade. That's what they all claimed, the Republicans and Democrats, but nobody wanted to rock the boat because the American people were saving a lot of money on these imported goods. They were American companies. Nothing was built here. It was built in China, Mexico, or someplace else. Half the cars sold in America aren't made here. And 80% of our 3 brand names that were supposed to be Americans, like Chevy, GM, Chrysler, Ford, 80% of the parts come from overseas. Instead of having factories here to make them, where people made a decent earning. I love Trump's tariffs. It's going to hurt for a little while, but once it brings back the factories and the industrial base of our country, where we don't need the world anymore, and we're putting out good quality stuff instead of a lot of the stuff coming from China is full of lead, they found over the last couple of decades. It had to be recalled, but they never paid back anybody for the stuff. China's one-way street. Sell it, and you're stuck with it. But the factories didn't care because they made so much money on the stuff. Think about what I just said and how screwed we've been since Nixon opened the doors. But then every president, Congress, governors, all supported it. And all the big United States factories supported it. Let us move overseas. We can make this stuff for a quarter of the price and ship it back here. So we're making 2 or 3 times more on the same product if we make it in China than making it in America. But look what it's done. All we have is a low middle class anymore. No upper middle class, hardly. And most families, two jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs. A lot of time when I was raising my kids, I had 2 jobs. When I was a truck driver for the first few years here, just starting my appliance business and car repair on the side. I worked for TV shops in the evening and on weekends to make extra money. So think about bringing them back and praise Trump for bringing our industrial base back, which has good jobs, good union jobs a lot of times. And even if they're not union, they're usually good paying jobs. God bless you all. And have a good night now.